Like to call this meeting Johnson County Recycling District to order on what is today, March 9th, 2026 at 2 p.m. Roll call, please.
Thanks.
Brian Baird,
Here.
Ron West,
Present.
David Lexi,
Here.
Susie Quill. Here. Mark Myers,
Here.
Kevin Walls,
Here.
John Ditmars. There we have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. First item is approval of minutes from January 12th, 2026.
I move to approve. I'll second.
We have a motion and a second.
Second. No, third.
We had an echo.
They beat you to it.
I seconded David first. I seconded.
He's jumpy from the commissioner meeting. He's jumpy.
I'm trained.
Got a first and a second. Everybody in favor, please say aye. Opposed, same. Okay, motion passes. Treasurer's report.
Okay, so you will note that there is an addition down at the bottom of the check register that amounts to $206,758. That was from the bond. You'll see the date of 12/31/25. That was from our software. That check was actually written at the end of January, had a December 1st invoice. And when we went to go run all of our annual reports, we found it under December 31st. It was never dated December 31st. The system just picked that up. Angela looked into it. There was nothing we could do to change it because the check had already been, distributed. So that is why you will note that in this, that check is included, but out of date for December 31st. That is the check that was printed, or excuse me, the date that was actually printed on the check, although it was printed at the end of January. So the total collective for both the general and the bond is $393,228.57. The general expenses were $34,897.63. And the construction bond was $358,330.94.
Do I have any questions about that?
Make a motion to approve. Second, I got a question on the financials, if you're ready for
Discussion.
Have a motion and a second.
Now we have discussion.
Go ahead, sir.
Just curious, on the income statement, March 9th compared with 2026, why is it only just for 2 months when we've got all the information for the check register through March 6th? Just curious why this is not.
Because it's always been this way, Ron. We've always just done from board meeting to board meeting, but this budget statement actually does from January 1 through to the board meeting. So the year-to-date actual is from January 1 through actually it was through the 6th, right? Through the 6th.
Through what?
Through the 6th.
It's on, but you're only reflecting 2 months' expenses here, not 3.
February,
No March.
because it's just, we closed it on March 6th. March 6th.
Yeah, that was 3 days ago, right?
Correct. So these were the bills that were generated up until March 6th.
Well, I just for simple calculation, I just looked at executive director's salary. There's only 2 months' salary listed here as year to date. And I'm assuming it'd be January and February.
Correct.
Yeah, because there's not been.
Where's March?
We haven't been paid yet.
Haven't been paid at all yet.
They're on a cash basis, Ron. Cash basis.
Okay,
We won't get paid until next Friday. So.
all right, okay, understand. Thank you.
Sure.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
I,
All opposed, same motion carries. Big treasurer's report. CAC committee.
The CAC met both in January and February and will be meeting tomorrow night. The CAC would like to get back to monthly meetings, especially since we have some new programs that we're rolling out that we hope for them to be a part of. So we are working on those dates, and we'll talk tomorrow night, and they'll be participating in our upcoming shredding event in April as well.
Okay. Anybody got any questions for on CAC? Good. All right, we'll go to the director's report.
Well, as I mentioned, our annual reporting this year was a little interesting, given our software. Angela did help us through those little kinks, and all of it was done. As I'm sure you're aware by just talking to some of the other department heads, we have several different annual reports that are due, that all have to reflect one another, which doesn't always work. And on top of that, we also have the SB 131, which is specific to solid waste districts. So that is a third annual report that we have to do with basically all the same information as the other two. So all of those were completed. Again, Angela will be working with us before the 2027 budget to make sure that our 6 months is all complete and together. It is tax season for her, so we, when that is done, we will kind of get back to our regular reporting. So 2025 by the numbers. If you could pull up that graph, that would be great, so that anybody online. Thank you. If you look, this is our total numbers for 2025. Bear in mind that we were closed for 2 months last year, well, about 2.5 months. We closed down on April 17th. And so given that, our numbers still increased for the year. So we were quite happy with that. The only number that was actually down, and again, it's all relative, was HHW. And HHW really only had 4 weeks that it was open before we closed down. So if you figure, the majority of that number actually comes from our July 1st opening date. One of the things that I went into this facility ensuring and kind of drilling into everybody's head would be that we would get accurate record of how many people come through our facility. We do that through our iPads. And so as you'll note, July 1st through December 31st, there was 7,862 residents and an average of about 73 people daily. That's a lot of people through our doors when we have to sort all of the material that gets through. So we're thrilled, but it just goes to show just how busy we are. Our biggest day, as I mentioned, we actually had 187 people through. That's nonstop. And so, as we continue to grow, we're happy to do it, but it's amazing how quickly things fill up, even in our new facility. So we'll continue to ensure proper documentation of everything and being able to capture the numbers. But we were really happy with those results. We will, of course, have added composting this upcoming year. So we'll have numbers for that as well. And just continue to try and, get the information out there, because it's amazing how much of the public still doesn't know we exist. So every day it's new people. That kind of blends into something that we'll talk about at the very end. So any questions on those numbers? Or I do want to say an approximate, and we have to do approximate, but about 20 tons of that comes from Edinburgh, and that would be from the commingle number. We've been including that in our numbers, though, since Edinburgh has been down there. Their number just doesn't really change, because unless we were to add or take away a bin, the estimate is always about the same. And I do know that they've had great success with that, and their people still are thrilled with that program, and it is being well used. So.
Don't think you got any questions.
Excellent. Bloom, Johnson County. Commissioner Baird, I don't know if you spoke today. I apologize. I didn't hear it because we were working on about any of the pollution in Johnson County. I know you mentioned that you were going to talk about that today.
I talked about the trash.
Okay.
So
So
scolded everyone.
perfect. So everybody's going to do a much better job going
Sure.
forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not knowing that it was on the commissioner's agenda today, I kind of had this epiphany, and it was actually through talking to Chris Jones up at Greenwood. We were talking about some of the options we had for collection ideas and some of the ways that we could kind of work as a community. And I said, hey, what if we got the MS4s to be captains in our county, and we created a program that worked on, and I hate to use the term beautification because that's not really what it's about. It's just about daily picking up, ensuring that people are, if somebody's doing a cleanup, credit is given. We know many of our communities have their own cleanups that they do. We know many churches and organizations do cleanups. So how can we get that all under one umbrella, and also maybe ensure that areas that aren't being cleaned up have the opportunity to be cleaned up? And so I talked to Boone County, because Boone County started that in Lebanon with being a cleanest city and some of their programs, and ironically is pushing it out to the county. And I was like, perfect. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I have an idea. And so we took some of the information that Jennifer had with that, some of the partnerships, but I took it a little bit different direction because we do have such an amazing MS4 group that we are a part of. And so we broached it with them first and said, hey, would you willing to be your captains for your area? And everybody thought, hey, that's great, because we're already a part of the cleanups and what we're doing. So from there, we're going to work our way down to some of the communities, such as Trafalgar. Barkersville did not have representation that day, and Princess Lakes, and ensure that we have somebody from their organizations that will also be part of that, and work together to create programs to include our tire cleanups. We still have almost $7,000 left from the grant that we received from IDEM. Unfortunately, apparently there were so many people that came out for the grant this go round that we did not get it for next year, which I was a little disappointed, but it will come around again in January, hopefully, of next year. So we will put in for it again to try and see if we can get that. But in the meantime, we would like to see that each group do a north, central, and south cleanup that includes tires, but with the goal that even though you may be in Greenwood, or even though it may be in Whiteland, you need to allow anybody in the county to come and drop off those materials, because we will pay for it. We will pay for that tire out of the grants and some of the funding that we have from some of the education that we set aside for budget. And then from there, we are hoping to work with looking at some of the non-compete grants through the foundation that would maybe give us the opportunity to purchase grippers and different things that community members would need if they wanted to do a larger cleanup. And as those communities are doing cleanups, because Boone County does one massive cleanup every year, but what they do is those businesses that come forth, that's great, can you do it one of these 4 days? But if not, what day are you willing to do it? So let's say Whiteland's cleanup is August 15th, and I'm throwing a date out there. I have no idea what day that is. Then maybe those businesses work around those 4 days of August 15th and not have to do it on April 22nd that we designate as being the cleanup day. So that way we can ensure that it's being done, but it's being done when it's convenient for them. Not so much like this is the only one day you have available to do this cleanup. I already spoke to Luke, because obviously there is a component of the highway department being involved if there is trash on, county roads and so forth. They already handle our cleanups when somebody adopts a road. And so that is something that we talked about with Luke, that obviously we would have an awareness that this group is actually doing this. Michelle from Planning and Zoning would be like, hey, this group has this going on. So we know that this trash may need to find a home. But one of the ways that Boone County handles that is basically look, if you do a cleanup on your own, you have to find a way to dispose of that trash, because most of these groups have a way to dispose of the trash. Most of them have a dumpster. Most of them have that availability. So we're kind of getting away from the true roadside cleanup. You get a sign, maybe you do it, maybe you haven't done it for 10 years. I mean, we have a lot of that. And putting this all under one umbrella called Bloom Johnson County that we can also use to go for grant dollars. So that's kind of one of the main things is we can help one another to track, but then go for those grant dollars and say, we have this great program in existence. You know, we need more funding, we need support, whatever the case may be.
Sounds like a good idea.
Thank you.
Real good.
Thank you.
How do you handle tires? Jess?
So according to IDEM, we have to have an event that is open to the community, that is captured by a recognized tire recycler that follows all the rules of IDEM, basically. And so we use Liberty Tire. That's what we generally do. It's normally in a semi. We only allow for passenger and small truck because once you start getting into the semi tires, it costs a lot more money and obviously takes up a lot more space. So if that community wanted to do semi tires, we would pay the blanket $2,400, let's say, but the community could then decide, hey, we want to do semis, and they could decide to charge, they could decide however they want to do to provide for that. They are allowed to be on rims, which is excellent. And of course they take, you know, lawnmower tires and bicycle tires and some of the things that, you know, people have that don't know how to dispose of.
And does a tire recycler take them for free or what's that?
No, it's $2,400.
Oh, you pay them $2,400 to take all of the tires?
It's $2,400 for a semi.
Oh. For a semi load. Well, that's not bad for a semi
Yeah,
load.
it's $2,400 for a semi load.
Yeah, good deal.
Do you want the board to bless that?
I sure would think that, yeah, if you guys.
Anybody got any input? You might talk about it now.
Thank you.
I was gonna say, Jesse, are you gonna reach back out to the MS4s again, or how would you?
So, yeah, I mean, I go to the MS4 meeting all the time. If you're speaking kind of specifically to Bargersville, I think you guys may be in between somebody. I don't
We
really.
were, yeah.
Yeah, so if you have somebody that you would like to see me talk to, I'm happy to speak to whomever that is.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so we're actually, Carla and I have been working, we actually have a really cool logo. And we've been working on just the basic messaging so that when I reach out to the people that weren't in the meeting, they understand what it is that we're asking for, what we're willing to do. And then we'd like to create some dates, because again, it's not all going to be in 1 year. So if we do it, you know, if we do it north, central, south, the next year, then another group in the north, central, south, you know, that sort of thing. So like basically every other year we would be paying for your tire collection in your community. So that's kind of what we're looking at going forward. I would love to see the MS4s we've talked about a long time, which Zionsville does, you know, a creekside cleanup. We get those phone calls a lot. I would love to see us host something like that and maybe even work with Atterbury and what, you know, they have over in their area. There's so many options that we can do, but the biggest thing is raise awareness to stop throwing your trash everywhere. And we have options.
It's trash day today.
Jesse, just don't forget
There'll be
that
beer cans in my yard.
if we are actually sharing any funds and those kind of things, we're gonna need interlocals with the MS4s. Some kind of a interlocal agreement that everybody signs off on if we are paying something that they are
That
incurring
was my
debt.
next question. What costs are we gonna incur?
This-
And
so
how
part
much
of-
time
Yeah.
are we gonna incur?
So we do currently have an interlocal with the MS4s.
Okay.
With that, that's why I was going that route, but if we
Okay.
need a different one,
No, if you've got one that covers this program,
well, I guess we would need to add this program
Sure.
into it, but yeah.
I have no desire to reinvent the wheel, but just make sure we have something State Board of Accounts can account.
Yeah, and the way in which this IDEM grant actually works, it's really kind of screwy, is it goes to solid waste districts with the understanding that basically you're gonna give it to everybody else. So, and like, because most of us don't have a tire collection program. There's some that do, but, but in the meantime, some of the funds will actually come out of our education funds because of not getting that grant again. But I think it's a worthy cause, something that we can certainly support. so.
Anything more than the 2,400?
It would be per community. So again, like if we did 3 this year, the grant for the most part should cover that. But next year, we would need to make sure that we have enough money in our funds to cover that. In case we didn't get the tire grant.
Okay.
So I will make sure that it's included in the 2027 budget so we can keep this program rolling.
Any other questions?
Nope.
I guess you would need a motion from us to pursue this. So I would look for some kind of motion from
So
someone
moved.
to carte blanche, just go.
Everything Jesse talked about.
To establish the Bloom program
Doing program.
with our MS4 partners.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. All opposed? There you go. You got another thing on your to-do list, Jessica.
That's okay. We're really excited about this. I mean, this kind of puts everything under one umbrella. So, yeah.
And it looks like you got a little fence for us to look at.
I do. Wes is, I'm assuming, no longer coming. However, this was one of the last things that he was working on for us. So, ironically, Stephen may actually have some pictures included, without us realizing it in here. But if you have, no, but well, this is okay. This kind of helps. So if you have the chance to come out to our facility, you know, it's amazing and people can get through quickly. It has all the things. The only thing it doesn't have is the ability to stop people from going left as soon as they come into the parking lot. So it seems that no matter how many signs, no matter what we do, especially if they are brand new, they want to go left. So we literally spend, and this is no joke, a fair amount of every day on the lookout, racing outdoors to stop people from hitting one another head on, because people are coming out of the exit the right way and people are trying to enter in the wrong way. So we have met with many people. Wes has been out a few times, and the solution that we came up with, which honestly we had kind of thought is how our gates were going to be set up to begin with, would be to have 2 gates that open up this way so that we could keep one part of the gate closed, and it will actually be off-centered to make sure that we can still get a good sized vehicle to come through. This gate will stay closed and it will say, do not enter, wrong way. Because there is no way to put a sign, because the way in which everything's situated, it's on a curve. And so by being on a curve, you can't put a sign because they'll be like, wrong way, don't enter. Where am I supposed to go? You know, there's no good solution. So the best solution that we came up with was the ability to have a gate that had 2 openings so that we could keep this one shut the majority of the time with the sign there. Wes put out for 3 bids, only 1 person came back, and that's the bid that you see in front of you.
Put those little things at rental car places, pop, 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 when they go the wrong way.
The rental cars.
Yeah, when you go, do not enter.
When you say Wes put out for 3 bids, how did we?
I'm sorry, 3 quotes, not bids. Oh, sorry. That's so funny.
So I-
Ethan and I had this
Phone
conversation.
quotes.
Yes,
Oh, 3 quotes.
Phone
yeah.
quotes.
yes, I believe that's what it is.
We only got 1.
Yeah.
So,
Motion, we accept the one that's presented.
yeah. Have a motion.
That.
You got a second. Any discussion about it?
Do we still have this in our budget under the building? Is there enough money in there?
There is more than enough money to cover this. We currently have, I believe there is a very small retention still on the asphalt. But the ending balance is $215,704.39.
And the retention is what Wes has recommended we hold until everything's completed.
Correct. And it's only on the
Asphalt. Okay.
All right, well, I got a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. To
To-
put the
to-
fence in.
The Good Shepherd Fence Company quote. That's how I heard it.
Yep,
Isn't that how you heard it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
4580947. Okay. Got your fence, got your bloom,
Yep.
batting 50% today, pretty good. Showed us big numbers.
Take it 100%, I know.
And win a batting title.
I don't think I'd bet on 100%. Reporting, okay. Anybody got any questions for Jesse before she leaves? And we're good. Good. Okay, thank you, Jesse. And now the highlight of the day, legal report by Ms. Lynn Gray.
Not very much, and that's a good thing, isn't it? As is traditionally, we received from the Greenwood Redevelopment Commission their impact statement for the year that they send us every year pursuant to 36/7/14/17. We typically do not take any action on it, but I believe I should bring it to you and let you know we have it, and they give us the impact of what their abatement area has impact upon us, which is not all that great. I have received it. It is available with color pictures and things of that nature. Should any of you desire to see it, but most of you probably already know about it. So I have it.
Do we know what that?
Huh?
Do we know what this is?
Well, you'll find out in a minute.
Okay, gotcha.
You're my new employee.
I am not.
Okay,
Happy to answer any questions. I don't have anything for this.
okay. All right. Anybody have any questions for Lynn?
No, thank you.
Oh, come on. Parson, do it. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
Old business. UTV quotes for consideration.
Have an agenda.
I was wondering what he was talking about. I'm like, it's on the agenda.
It was, I don't have an agenda.
I can get one.
You didn't get one either?
Hello, everyone. I'm Steven. Met some of you before, some of you I haven't, but I'm the operations manager for Johnson County Recycling. And Jesse wanted me to come up here and talk about, kind of the need that we need for a UTV on our actually pretty large property. I'm at the old facility, there wasn't much to take care of. So I'm not in the business of asking for things that are not needed. But with a decently sized property comes, decently sized responsibilities, including a retention pond. So as of now, we have done a lot to cut costs as far as landscaping, snow removal. And when cutting costs, putting responsibility on ourselves, that comes in the question of safety concerns, health hazards, going by IOSHA and OSHA. As far as me, then my part-timers, there's just a lot of risk and responsibility. So as I started to do all these new things, the landscaping, snow removal, rocks, new projects on the chasing away geese, you name it. I've come to realize that there is a bit of a need and a bit of a void that a UTV can help. So what you guys were questioning was 3 quotes for a UTV that use through Sourcewell. And most of the people, I put out like 6 and 3 of them I think came back. A lot of them were golf carts, and you just never know what they're saying when there's a UTV or whatever. Sometimes they come back as golf carts or things that are not being specifically asked for. But when we talk about how a UTV would help, not only like I said for the safety, but I brought in some of my numbers of my own of just me personally, what I've done for landscaping and how much backbreaking and actually work it is. I mean, it took 2-3 weeks alone just for myself to get all the weeds and rocks that were just around the building. And that includes either buckets or wheelbarrows. And since I brought in pictures of, I can't just dump the weeds and rocks
You put up the picture.
Yes, around the building. So we'll get to that picture in a second. Let's go back to the other one. The one. So that one's fine. So to get rid of rocks and weeds, I don't really have necessarily a place to put it. I'm surely not gonna burn it. So we have a little bit of a grace area behind the fence there where I'm able to, let it deteriorate and let it go back to nature and reuse the stones when obviously I can for decor, whatever. But we're talking, 2 or 3 weeks of 8 hours of just back and forth, back and forth. And sometimes I get my part-timers help, but like I said, or like what Jesse said, sometimes we see 100, 200 cars in a day and, 5 minutes a car. That's constant. So sometimes I just don't get the help that I need. And a UTV not only would help me move all that stuff, but I don't have to worry about the cars coming in and going. They'll be able to see me better because there are times where, we get some of the older folks that don't see too well and drive with 2 feet. They don't necessarily see me. So it does become a little bit hazard. So if we go to another picture, that one. So on the backside, if you guys have been to the property yet, they put a row of trees, and that's on the very back end of the property behind the retention pond. There's about, I can't remember how many trees. There are like 8 trees there. They cannot be watered because I don't have a hose long enough to go from the building clear across. So they're just kind of at the mercy of the weather. And if they need to be replanted, they're going to have to be replanted because I'm not able to mulch, I'm not able to fertilize, I'm not able to water them. So, and we all know trees are really expensive. So the UTV would come and help because I'll be able to pull a tanker, I'll be able to pull new mulch back there, fertilizer, whatever is needed to, help our trees grow. Along with the geese and everything that incurs around the retention pond. And retention ponds are not so much fun, but they do require some attention as far as making them look nice, keeping them nice, making sure that the rocks around, where the overflow, the pipes, make sure there's rocks around it, make sure it just looks decent. Otherwise we're going to be paying, a lot of money for somebody else to do it. Which I'm more than happy to do, obviously that I do, but,
I'll talk about the snow removal, this all.
yeah,
all
well,
the things that-
yeah, sorry, I'm a talker. If we go to, like, for example, right there, all those rocks, and over time, they kind of just, fall in, which requires me to replace them. And I can only carry a couple of them at a time, or if I get a couple wheelbarrow trips, and I'm already ready for lunch. So a UTV would definitely help move the rocks and make it look nice. If we go to, those are the trees that I was talking about that are kind of,
They'll die the first time the farmer sprays the field.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a landscaper, so I'm not too sure about placement, but
Well,
I'm just
we also
here-
wanted to do an educational pathway and, there's.
a lot of
certain
other
things that we would like
projects.
to do.
Like we already have a composting for ourselves that's made out of pallet wood. I do a lot of projects with pallets. We're gonna do like a place where people can meet outside with just like reused chairs and stuff that we have that we brought. So a lot of projects, a lot of this land is going to be used and not just sit empty. And I'm just thinking about all the man hours and all the wheelbarrow trips and all the, out in the June, July sun that it's gonna take. Let's go to. Keep going. Right there, that's currently where we're keeping all our mulch. We don't have really a good spot for it, so that's where the best place we could put it. So I have to take that mulch and spread it on virtually every square inch of the property, through the trees, through the beds up front, through the trees up front. And thankfully, I did get some part-timers help for mulching, but again, it's a lot of work for one person, and when we're ultimately trying to make it look nice and save money by not having to overuse a landscaping. So along with this picture, you can see you've seen all the asphalt we've had. That's a lot of road to salt, a lot of road to plow. And we've already come up with a standard of when should we call somebody. The guy named Paul, he's terrific, he's a great guy. When we should call him to come and push the snow. There is what did we say?
Well, they haven't made a standard.
Oh, well, I meant because we don't want to.
Actually, if I may give you context, Stephen, because this is your first meeting, this actually came up because the board asked when we were talking about snow removal. That they go out and go into the UTV in that.
Yeah.
Salt and snow.
They've already had that.
Because it's kind of
Knowledge.
hard
Yeah.
getting somebody to come out in the middle of the night for an inch.
Yeah.
But I can easily, I've done it for INDA. I push snow on 252. And it's not a problem, but obviously I can't do it with a couple shovels and electric snow blower. So yeah.
We got the numbers in front of us.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Sorry, I'm a talker.
Have we priced anything besides the Polaris?
Yeah, you got three bids, or,
Yeah, but they're all Polaris, aren't they?
no. Bobcat,
I'm with it.
Bobcat and
Well,
He put out just 6 quotes and those were the 3 that came back and we both
Yeah,
off that.
price. Kubota,
What'd you say now?
did
Sorry.
we price Kubota?
I used Sourcewell, who I don't know what
Yeah,
Sourcewell's who has government contracts or who has contracts to get them a discounted price. So I use their search engine to find these who's been approved to give us these discounted quotes. So anybody that's with Sourcewell gets a better price, and that's who I use instead of just going to, because they're just going to give you MSRP and these are below MSRP. So that's who I use.
We got really good pricing through McAllister on our Kubotas we have here at the county,
Oh, really?
I was gonna ask.
with blades, with salt spreaders.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, perfect. I mean,
if you might just to reach out to McAllister's, since they're local-ish,
Okay.
Indianapolis, South Side, just
yeah.
see what they might do a Kubota for. The Kubota is more of a workhorse, I think, than some of the others.
Are those the orange ones?
Yeah,
Okay, I think that's what we have.
yeah, Kubota, most people use Kubotas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I use John Deere's.
Of course you.
Well, you like to pay for that expensive green paint, don't you?
Hey, it lasts.
John Deere's good. I had John Deere before I got my Kubota. Yeah, I think we bought those, year and a half ago. We bought our last one
I
from,
just wondered if there was still a spec available that we could.
Jason Miller.
Okay.
You can get with him. He's the one that did the deal on it.
Okay.
I know they gave us a really good price and they're just workhorses. They just go and go and go.
Yeah.
They're hard to deny that they're a good product. But
And I would go along with that and also just thinking of the man hours we're gonna save on the work, the possible injuries, everything else that goes along with it, the safety of using them. I would like to see a price on a Kubota with all the attachments as well, but I have no problem with them.
definitely needed.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing that.
Okay.
I know what mine does.
Come back next one. We got time, hopefully, before you get a big snow. And you're
Yeah.
covered right now anyway.
Well, it's Indiana,
Hey, the
so
Final Four hadn't happened yet.
I started saying.
Boys section.
They're talking
Asphalt.
about snow Monday.
Okay,
Yeah.
boys section.
We're,
Let's be
we're,
coming
we're
up.
starting it, March Madness.
So just so Stephen is clear on his, these are Sourcewell prices and we directed him to go to Sourcewell. I remember at the last
Yeah.
meeting. And we asked him to do that. So these will still remain good.
yes.
Their quote. And then you're gonna go reach out to Kubota
Yes,
on a telephone call, make sure you keep record. like Wes requires you to do, and you want us to report back the next board meeting.
Yes, and make sure you have all the
I
attachments
don't think
that.
I was here.
Hardly that.
Did you hear that, Stephen?
all the.
No,
all the-
you weren't here.
those
Yeah,
are
that's
most
what
of
you
the
did.
attachments, Yeah.
It was brought up,
Yeah.
get that tweener stuff, and it's expensive to get removals, so we talked about.
It's actually driven at the last meeting. For those who weren't available, it wasn't they came, but it was board
That's why I
driven.
was saying I don't think I was here is what I
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah, and that's that's,
understand it.
I don't want you to think they're out there shopping for toys and things like some of the other, but yeah, we're
None
more,
of these are toys.
but yeah, more than indicated they were.
Yeah,
When is the next board meeting? 2 months?
May 11th.
And if it snows between now and then, I thank you for the offer to come in and shovel it for it.
But, and we could do, just approve this on, we could approve the lowest price on these if you want to do that. And if Kubota comes in competitive, they can just make that decision as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, is that what we're shooting for, the lowest price necessarily, or what if Kubota was closed?
I'm a Kubota fan. That's what I.
Official vote.
We wouldn't go for lowest price, but best quality for what we're gonna get.
Wait until next month. I mean, you
Both
can
of them are
make,
good.
make it till next meeting.
That's 2 months.
Yeah.
away from that.
Look, I'm obviously, we'll just. The biggest thing is keeping up around the building, and we can do that currently, we just won't do any of the other things, you know, because.
Jesse, do you have a truck, like an open bed truck?
We have
A
a
pickup
pickup
truck? Okay, so you do have some source of
Yeah.
getting around. Okay.
Yeah.
Just a
It just-
little hard. when-
And behind the retention pond and
I
thing,
understand, yeah.
but we can do the necessaries. Yeah, so you have all your information in front of you.
I think you're gonna have to standardize your quotes so that everybody's quoting exactly the same thing. When I was looking at these, some had cab heaters, some had windshield wipers. I mean, there was various prices attached to their quote, so you probably need to, as a,
That's probably about-
yeah, you have to be specific in what you're getting.
Yeah.
Got a freak.
Yeah.
On your
Very specific on what I was asking for, and this is just what they came back with what I asked for, which was enclosed, and
Yeah,
I'm guessing if they included
These are.
a windshield wiper, I
Right,
guess
they're not-
that the standard doesn't come with it, which is very odd because.
We did the same thing with tires, somebody
Yeah.
included tires, just said, does it not have tires? So we called them, and they're like, well, no, these were other tires.
Yeah, these were a spare tire.
Okay.
Right, right.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much. So we'll get this back. Yeah, if you can just get a standardized quote sheet, just, it makes it a little bit easier than us picking and choosing through here.
Yeah, but I think,
Some have
well,
windshield
but
wipers.
even when he does it, I'm telling you, they're gonna bring you options and you can say, we don't want that option, we don't want that option. That's just what they're gonna do.
Doing that.
Just when you circulate, show what your quote was. I mean, what your
So,
question
it was
quote
right-
was.
It's,
right at the same mark right here where we're at. So.
Yep.
we just bought one for right at the same, about the same price, a little bit higher, but much better quality equipment's gonna last longer.
What brand?
Kubota.
About-
It's kind of right in the middle of all these quotes.
So you see what his specs, look like when you're ready.
Well, and I agree with Ron, though, you've got to really spec them the same or you're gonna get.
In their defense, their quote went out the same.
Yeah.
They bring them back with, and we can do this, and we can do that. So it comes back from the vendor, not necessarily, we're sending it out the same.
Yeah.
This is what we want, but they always bring back some additional,
Something different.
something different that they could offer, which we don't have to take.
Okay, well, thanks, Stephen. I know you
Thank
put a
you,
lot of
sir.
work into
Appreciate
it, so. All right, any new business? Oh, quiet, good. Any public comment?
Jeff, come on.
Quiet. Okay. Just need one more motion.
Move
Make
to
a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Beat you.
First and a second, we are adjourned.